Well, we finally reached that night. The 2026 JSBL Championship game is here at last. We welcome you into the booth for the first time this year, Danny Zarski, alongside Alec Crowthamel. He's been here every night. I've been here spottingly, but we have it's funny, Alec, the more things change, the more they say the same. A rematch of last year's thrilling championship.
Yeah, and I think this game will be just as thrilling. A lot of the main guys from last year are on the court again this year. Obviously, ACI Robins Nest, a lot of their core back. A lot of the Stearns guys are back as well, and honestly, a lot of them even improved. So I think we have a really good game on our hands. Both teams coming off big-time victories in the semifinals, games that maybe we didn't expect them to win, but they made it to this point, and I think we're going to have a really good game on our hands.
Hey, I was the only one who had ACI Robins Nest, and they controlled that game last night wire to wire.
Absolutely. I mean, they took over early on. Again, County Line didn't have their full stable. ACI did, and sometimes that's the difference in the playoffs. And I think in that fourth quarter, when it got to crunch time, they just took over. They locked in on the defensive end and the offensive end, and they got the buckets they needed.
And then Stearns Trailer, they've been here 5 straight years in a row, and a lot of that is because of the experience that they bring.
Absolutely, especially down low. Parker Dortch, Rasheed Merlin, two of the top players at their respective positions in this league. Jalen Gaffney has been on fire in the playoffs, so I think we got a great game in our hands tonight.
As we take a look at our first tail of the tape matchup, you have Rasheed Merlin and Jared Kimbrough. Such an interesting matchup because these two guys have been playing on fire, and they've been so good in different ways.
Absolutely. Merlin, known as a floor spacer, but here in this year, and especially in the playoffs, he's really done a lot of the dirty work down low in the post. He's played solid defense. He's finished in the lane. And then Kimbrough, we know what he's able to do on both ends. In both of these playoff games, it's been the second half. He's gotten off to a couple of slow starts in these two playoff games, but in the fourth quarter especially, he has taken over the game and propelled ACI Robins Nest to 2 victories.
And the thing with Kimbrough being especially is it feels like he's had that signature dunk to end both of the games that they've won.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a high flyer, one of the best in the league, and it's going to be really tough going up against Mike Amon, Parker Dortch, Rasheed Merlin, a lot of experienced forwards on Stearns Trailer. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this game goes, and some backcourt additions as well. Larry Smith here now.
That is a humongous get for Stearns Trailer. And then on the other end, Jalen Gaffney hit maybe the shot heard around the world until 3 seconds later when Dwayne Jones said, hey, I'm going to just one-up you in a crazy and-one three-pointer from half court. But those two have such a compelling matchup tonight because of how they've played so far this postseason.
Absolutely. Gaffney has been on fire from the three-point line so far in the playoffs. He's averaging 33 points a game through 2 playoff games, 22 for Dwayne Jones. So it's been really intriguing to watch those two. I'm not sure if they're going to match up against each other. You'll probably see Larry Smith on Dwayne Jones to be that point of attack defender, but how ACI Robins Nest defends Jalen Gaffney is going to be a big key to how this game goes and who wins the championship trophy.
And that's the thing, and I think there's been some other storylines. We wanted to get into dynamic duos. The way Jones and Kinsler have been able to feed off of each other has also been so impressive.
Yeah, it's the third option for both these teams. You look at Parker Dortch, he's been the X factor for Stearns Trailer in their 2 playoff wins, and then you look at Samir Kinsler. He's been terrific knocking down threes. I think we got a really interesting matchup for the top threes on their respective teams, and I think it's going to have to be a full team effort. No matter who comes away victorious, it's not just going to be 1 or 2 guys. It's going to be the entire team, all 5 guys on the floor.
X factors tonight for each team. Who do you have?
I mean, I think it's got to be Dortch. Dortch might be too good to be an X factor at this point, the way he's played in the playoffs. But I'll go someone who might be guarding him. I'll go with Ibn Loyal on ACI Robins Nest. I mean, having Jagan Mosley helps in the front court, but I think Loyal's going to have to defend Dortch, a tall task, of course. And I think he's going to have to knock down some threes, which he's shown a high capability of doing. He can catch fire at any point from beyond the arc.
I'll give you I think there's 2 on each team. The 2, I think Loyal's a good one. I think the big 2 are Kinsler and Montgomery. They've been so good, and they're going to be tasked with probably having to match up against – actually, no, I'll say Mosley and Kinsler because the way Mosley was making shots last night at such a high effective clip, he's so dangerous, and if he gets going and gets loose, it's going to be a problem to stop him. And then for Stearns Trailer, Savon Myers was awesome last night. And Larry Smith being in the gym, he's got championship experience. And the biggest thing is he spells Mason Jones to the bench, which is a huge addition by subtraction for Stearns Trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just having that depth. Stearns didn't have a ton of depth last night. It looks like they have some more tonight. And obviously ACI Robins Nest is going to have their depth. They're all here tonight. Again, it's going to be a team effort no matter who comes away victorious.
I mean, the one X factor that we didn't bring up, and it's the last thing we'll mention before we get into this game, if you take a look down to the right side of the gym, the 6th man is here in full force in the Protect the Nest shirts. They really want to win this championship again, and it's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. ACI is looking for their second straight, and Stearns is looking to get back to the mountaintop again after a one-year departure, I guess you could say. So, I mean, I think all these teams, it's the last game of the season, no matter what, both these teams are going to leave everything they have out there.
So, interestingly enough, Mason Jones gets bumped out. He's still in there, but the 5 on the floor, Mason Jones, Savon Myers for Stearns Trailer, Dortch, Gaffney, and Merlin, the big 3 for them. And then for ACI Robbins Nest, it's Jared White getting the start tonight. So he'll be playing against Gaffney. It's Dwayne Jones, Samir Kinsler, Jared Kimbrough, and Ibn Loyal, the 5 on the floor for ACI Robbins Nest. Jagan Mosley off the bench coming into this one, as well as Tyreek Montgomery, Marquel Hardiman, Micah Kerr. And away we go. Jones controls the tip. It'll be ACI Robbins Nest going from right to left. It's an easy, quick pass. White tries, quick trigger on a 3, way off, but right there for the rebound and putback. Ibn Loyal found it in the right place at the right time, and we're off and running.
Again, he's going to be that 4th scorer option for ACI Robbins Nest, and he's going to need to play some good defense as well.
As Mason Jones got by everyone and gets inside for the bucket. 2-2, both teams scoring their opening possession. Jones, high pick and roll with Kimbrough. Gaffney playing on him, so that's the matchup early. Here's White in the corner, drives along the baseline, kicks to Jones, who fires a 3, just off, and rebounded by Gaffney. Good rotation there by Stearns. Here's Savon Myers. It's been electric in this postseason. Jones underneath, has it under the basket, wild. Shot goes, it looked like he was playing horse there.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to find any angle. Kind of got caught under the basket. Mason Jones, again, a really strong ISO scorer. He's gotten off to a good start.
As White right back down the other end answers, and we're tied again at 4. Here's Myers. Kicks inside. Oh, good ball denial by Loyal, but it bounced back to Myers, who drives inside and lays it up, and no good. Rebounded by Kinsler. Looking to push the pace. Loyal, corner. Merlin got a blow by Merlin and was able to recover as Loyal missed on the 3. Up and down we go, opening this game. I'm sure ACI Robbins just would rather them play more of a Stearns flow as Jones misses. Jones kicks Kinsler, open look. Loyal will try again from the corner and misses, and Merlin tracks down the board. 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Rematch of last year's championship game, and both of these teams were talking a little bit of smack going in as Dortch couldn't finish at the rim.
And again, Ibn Loyal on him there. He's able to battle with him down low in the post. Dortch, one of the stronger guys in the league in that area, and then get a good contest up on the hook. That makes it that much more difficult.
As Kinsler's floater, no, but Kimbrough running the board and tipping it in on the offensive glass.
Yeah, Kimbrough's positioning on the offensive glass so impressive because he's just able to find uncontested opportunities at will, and he did it again there.
Here's Gaffney, gets in, shot denied, but they're gonna get a foul on Jared White. So that's his first.
Yeah, Gaffney slashing into the lane. He's going to be a matchup problem because of the way he shot the three-point ball so far in this postseason. And I really do think this game is going to come down to who can show up as the 3rd and 4th option. Obviously, we know Merlin, Gaffney, and Dortch are probably going to be the top 3 guys, but who can really create after that? I think Savon Myers, like you mentioned before, is going to be a big part of it.
So Gaffney hits them both. We're tied at 6. Here's Dwayne Jones. That high pick and roll with Kimbrough. It's going to be an effective use of how they run their offense tonight. They dump it outside. White faked his 3, missed on a mid-range, and Mason Jones the board. Here's Myers. The matchup of Jones on him. They tried to get it inside to Merlin. Ball denied. Excellent defensive play by Kimbrough. Here's Loyal. Extra pass inside. Kimbrough up and under. Got it, and the foul. What a move by Kimbrough, and he's got one more coming.
That's a great job by ACI Robbins Nest, switching the floor. You find Loyal out there on the wing. That forces the defense to over-rotate over. A nice pass inside to Kimbrough, and the patience down low to get Merlin in the air and finish in the lane.
And that's the experience of Kimbrough. I think he's come into this one knowing the comments Merlin made last night, they didn't think coming into this game that Kimbrough could match up with Merlin, and I think he took that personally, at least to start this one.
I think there's no love lost between these two teams. There's definitely a lot of respect, but definitely not any kind of love lost. I don't think these two teams like each other very much.
As Gaffney gets by White, and White quickly picks up his second foul.
Yeah, that's big. He's a switchable defender, and that time that's just a smart veteran play by Jalen Gaffney. He knew he had to step on him and just kind of backed it up, slammed his foot on the brakes, and kind of forced White into the foul, and we'll get Jagan Mosley into the game for the first time.
Mosley would have started tonight, got here a little bit late, but they had the defense and the shot making, so Jones now switches on to Gaffney. Here's Dortch. Backing down Loyal under the basket, gets that shot to go. No, he missed the first, he missed the second, and he missed the third. Excellent defense inside by the Nest. Jones the other way now. Danton. Long pass to the corner. Extra pass, Kinsler. Gets by his defender, drives inside, left-handed layup is good, and it's a quick 5-point lead for ACI Robbins Nest.
That's the gravity that Kinsler has on his three-point ball. He got his defender in the air on the ball fake, and that opened up everything else for him to drive in and get an open floater.
Here's Mason Jones, stripped of the ball, lost out of bounds. It'll stay with Stearns' trailer, but they're not making anything easy for Stearns so far.
Yeah, again, great defense. This is a very switchable lineup no matter who they have on the floor right now. They can kind of guard 1 through 5.
Gaffney drives in, stopped by Jones. Another miss at point-blank range for Stearns' trailer. High pick and roll, Jones kicks outside, Kinsler. Extra pass for Jones, who's got Merlin on him. They have a mismatch with Kimbrough down low. Jones falling away, shot off the glass is in. Woo! What a move by Jones.
Yeah, what a job by him of just getting into the lane as Stearns needs to talk it over after the 7-0 run. We know how dangerous he is getting to the rim with that left hand, but he can fall away and have some good touch as well. He just put that one high up in the air and a little kiss off the glass.
You mentioned, and we talked about, his mom just came up to us before. Dwayne, who you could see good footwork. You want to know what it might come from? His brother.
It runs in the Jones family.
Who's a professional ballet dancer. He's in Texas watching the stream. We shout you out, DJ, and hope that your team's able to protect the Nest tonight. But what a move by Jones, and that's the thing that separates him from some of these other guards is that his footwork is impalpable.
It really is, and he's able to extend and contort to so many different angles in his ability to get in the lane. He's so good at that left hand. Not only is he good with the left hand, he finds ways to get to that left hand at any opportunity, and that's such a big reason why he's a good finisher in the lane. Again, Dwayne Jones, when we were talking with him last night after the win over County Line Auto Body, he said, I think I'm the best guard in the league. Well, he has really not done much to dissuade that take so far in this one.
Dwayne Jones reminds me of Jalen Brunson in the sense of everyone's better than Jalen Brunson until it's quote-unquote time to be better than Jalen Brunson. And everyone's been told that they're better than Dwayne until it's time to be better than Dwayne. Larry Smith now in the game. Ball gets to Mason Jones. Jones rises, fires, and airballed. ACI in a quick little run. They lead 13-6. Here's Loyal, has Larry Smith on him. Takes the smaller guard inside, and he traveled. Loyal can't believe it.
Yeah, he dragged that pivot foot a little bit as he was trying to switch off the weight and kind of make a spin move. Good defense by Larry Smith coming in. We know he is one of the premier perimeter defenders in the league, but he got it done down there in the post.
And that's why he's so effective everywhere on defense. So here's Gaffney, gets inside, shot no good, but he's fouled. Interesting to see who this one's on. It's going to be on Mosley. That's the third foul that Gaffney's already drawn, and you could tell his burst is giving ACI a little bit of trouble early on.
Yeah, he's just a crafty guy who knows, again, he has that good first step quickness, but he's able to get into the lane with an array of moves. And again, an experienced guy, professional experience, high-level NCAA experience. He's just a guy who knows how to score professionally.
You mentioned, and I mean, we bring it up every time we talk about him, but how do you not? He was on a team that went to the Final Four, was a big player, and when Dusty May, who's a national championship winning coach, sees something in you to bring you in from UConn, think about it, the two places he played for, the two coaches, were the two coaches that were coaching in the national championship game this year.
Yeah, an exceptional evaluator of talent. That's kind of the biggest thing that separates Dusty May.
He's now coaching for the Dallas Mavericks as Kinsler gets inside. Left-handed layup is good. He's just so good at just adjusting in midair, and it's going to give Stearns problems all night if he can do it. Here's Larry Smith. Drives inside, couldn't finish, and Kimbrough skies in for the board. 15-8 the score. Jones layup off the glass, couldn't get it to go. Would have put the lead to 9. Here's Mason Jones. Fighting through a double long skip pass. Here's Dortch. Drives it on Kimbrough. Back to the basket, shot falling away, no good. Excellent defense by Kimbrough. 4 minutes to play. Here's Mosley. Drives inside, step back out. Mosley floater is a little too long. It'll go the other way. Mason Jones almost lost it. Spins around Kimbrough, fires up a mid-range, and he missed. He turned his back to the ref, and he still, that was like, oh, that's like one of those memes you see. Here's Kinsler. Kicks to Kimbrough, who gets it to Jones. Here comes Kimbrough for the set to screen. Jones inside, scoop layup is good. Jones dishing and swishing early.
Yeah, such a good job. Again, like I mentioned, such great control on the ball. He's able to extend that arm so Merlin can't really contest it. Makes that shot a lot easier.
17-8. Here's Gaffney. Trying to get inside, spins, shot falling away is good. Oh, what a tough shot for Gaffney, and it goes. Kinsler the other way. Almost broke Jones's ankles and then dribbled the ball out of bounds. And we finally get a break in the action. 17-10 to score. We'll be right back after this short break on the JSBL network. We welcome you back to the JSBL Championship game. 2:53 to play here in the opening quarter, and it feels like we haven't really had a break in the action so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these two teams are playing some pretty free-flowing basketball, not a ton of stoppages, although I think ACI Robins Nest has really taken the initiative on defense.
And it's interesting, sorry to cut you off, but this is the kind of style that Stearns wants to play.
Yeah.
And ACI's matched them pound for pound so far.
I think their defense down low has been the most impressive, the way they've been able to handle Dortch and Merlin so far. I mean, still a lot of game left, but early returns have been good.
Merlin draws the foul. We'll see who it's on. It's going to be on Kimbrough. He draws his first. He picks up his first, excuse me. That's the one thing that Stearns is the advantage in early going is that they've been able to draw some contact.
Yeah, and they've been able to get, again, Jared White, one of those key guys on the wing, in foul trouble so far. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how ACI continues to try to do that on the opposite end when they try to get contact. The one foul was on the Kimbrough three-point play.
Tyreke Montgomery checks in. I feel like he's been their energizer bunny. Like, he's the guy that more than anyone else on the team has brought the energy. The other thing I want to point out to you, ACI has done a very good job of preventing the Stearns runouts after made baskets. Here's Gaffney, tries on a three, couldn't get it. Rebound pinball to Kimbrough. Jones will try for three, and that one's no good. Rebound Loyal, and he puts it back in. 19-12 to score.
Again, Loyal, the X factor in this game, how he handles on the forward spot. He's gotten off to a really good start on both ends.
As Gaffney has been hot, another one goes down for him. Where would they be without him so far?
Maybe in a load of trouble, I'll tell you that. Again, his mid-range shot making, he's able to find his spots and generate open looks.
Loyal tries, too short on a three. Gaffney, the ball after the rebound by Merlin. Here's Merlin, kicks to the corner. Myers thought about a three. Interestingly enough that they have Myers now matched up on Kimbrough, and he misses on a three. Montgomery the rebound. Here's Kimbrough, thought about it. Drives inside, wild shot, it goes! How did he do that?
Again, he's just able to get downhill. Great job on his touch. Draws the contact and used that step after drawing the foul to kind of reset his balance, and he just flipped it up and some great touch off the glass.
We mentioned the slow starts that he has gotten off to in the first two. He's got 7 points in the first quarter and a chance for one more. Do you know who that foul was on?
I did not hear. I believe they got Gaffney. That's who I would have called it on at least.
That's his first, as Kimbrough's got 8 points already in the early going, so he's been on fire to start. Gaffney as well. Here's Larry Smith, multiple-time champion with Stearns Trailer. Dortch backs it in his man, has it under the basket, shot falling away, it's good. I mean, Edmond Loyal played perfect defense there, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, Dortch is able to muscle his way in there down low, and once he gets that post hook at the 5-foot range, that's his bread and butter. Very hard to stop.
Here's Jones, gets inside, the acceleration blocked by Myers. Excellent defensive play, and now they're going to stop.
The ball hit the side of the backboard. That ACI was trying to argue that should have been out of bounds. I believe it hit the side of the backboard.
I thought it was out of bounds.
But I'll tell you what, that was great defense by Savon Myers. He knew that Dwayne Jones, they're going to reverse it. I think I actually agree with the call there, because if you hit a shot that goes off the side of the backboard, it's not usually out of bounds.
So whose basketball is it?
Stearns, because that's whose it was before they stopped play. But again, Myers knew Jones was trying to get to his left hand, and he just does a great job of sticking to his principles on defense and pinning that shot off.
Myers a big get for them to have him down low as Dortch gets inside, and Loyal returned the favor. And Mosley stripped to the ball. Dortch back-to-back defensive plays. Here's Gaffney getting inside. Merlin the two-handed flush. Stearns finally given an opportunity to run the floor, and that's what they do so well. But right back, Kimbrough the slam. He's got 10. Gaffney answering, no, with a three, tried. Dortch the rebound, has everyone under the basket and drew the contact and the foul on Kimbrough. And one coming.
Yeah, the patience by Dortch. He gets the offensive rebound. The instinct is to go right back up with it. But Dortch knew he could get his 2 defenders in the air. Mosley was trying to argue that the foul was on him, so Kimbrough didn't pick up his second.
That's a big pickup of a second there.
And Dortch, again, just able to go right up with it, facing through the contacts.
So now Kimbrough has 2. And White has 2. And we have basically reached the final possession of the first quarter. About a second differential between the shot and the game clock. 24-21. Mosley kicks, corner, Jones wide open for 3, knocks it down. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. Dortch did get it off, but it's not going to count. And ACI Robbins Nest takes the lead into the second.
Yeah, that was a great job by Mosley on the drive-in kick. It looked like he was going to go up for it. He saw the defense crash. Perfect drive-in kick execution. The kick out to Jones. Nowhere to be found on the defensive end with Stearns Trailer. That allowed him to get those puppies organized, and he knocks down the 3.
We'll be right back. Start of the second quarter coming up next after this short break on the JSBL Network.
Well, we're about to.
Start of the second quarter, Dan Yuzerski alongside Alec Krauthamel, and this one early on has been a strong matchup between these two teams, and the best player on the floor so far for both teams has been Jared Kimbrough.
I would agree with you there. He's played really well on both ends of the floor. As it looks like Ibn Loyal took a shot to the face. I think his nose is bleeding.
Oh my goodness. And then you have Kerr who flies over Myers. Myers is lucky that he didn't get a call for his third foul. Are they they're gonna have the officials come in. Amari Jones is gonna check in.
Yeah, just to get Loyal off the floor quickly.
Who we found out today that him and Dwayne aren't actually brothers.
They are pretty much in the sense of
best friends for life.
Yeah, exactly. We were told that they've spent a lot of time together over the years. They basically grew up together over the summer, spent a lot of time together. It looks like there's actually some blood on the floor, so they got to get that cleaned up. As, yeah, Ibn Loyal took the shot to the face, and instantly his nose was bleeding, and it looked like, yeah, some of that got on the floor, so they got to clean that up before we can start the action again.
So there's some red 40 on the floor right now. Hopefully Loyal's okay, and that's one of those where there's so much contact on every single play, and the way these two teams are playing physical, they did kind of miss a foul on Myers there.
It looked like, yeah, that was kind of a bit of a clear out. So we'll see. Hopefully Loyal's all right because, again, he's the X factor to this ACI team. It looks like he's still getting checked out at the training table. Both teams are in the huddle now, and it does allow for some rest. Again, these starters played a lot of minutes in the early goings of this game, so it does allow them to get some rest. And Tyreek Montgomery's going to try to.
Is he using a Protect the Nest shirt?
I don't think. I think it's just a regular shirt, but I think someone's coming over with some paper towels.
You know,
Tyreek Montgomery is willing to do whatever. He's willing to sacrifice a shirt to keep this championship game going.
You know, it's funny. It's like throughout the course of a season, you see everything. This is the one thing we haven't seen yet, and of course you get it tonight.
Yeah, of course, in the championship game.
I don't know if they want to use the. They're thinking about maybe using the mop for. I don't know.
It's being floated. There's some paper towels out there. And again, I mean, this is stopping the game. It's stopping the momentum. So you wonder which team is going to benefit.
It's literally it's kind of like a halftime. I mean, both of these teams. It was 10 seconds to play after the first quarter, and then right back to the huddle. Both of these teams go. If it was Larson Ford, they would have went to the locker room.
And again, who is going to benefit off of this, off an extended stoppage? Only a couple of subs in that first quarter. Savon Myers came off or Larry Smith came off the bench, I should say, I believe.
And they played a lot better once Larry went on the floor.
Yeah, so again, getting these guys some rest, keeping them to their game plan. And also an interesting part of this game and this extended run for ACI Robin's Nest. Jay Dorsey was originally their head coach to start out the season. He hasn't been able to make these last few games, so they have a new head coach now that's stepped in, and I think done a pretty good job. He's certainly brought a lot of energy to the sideline, that's for sure.
Do we know what his name is?
Did
we name drop him in the SSI?
Yes, it is Steve DeVito.
Brother
of Luke DeVito.
So that's why Luke DeVito's been LARPing over there in the crowd.
Oh yeah, his brother is the head coach. Luke DeVito of Larson Ford. His brother is the coach. Also, Josh Michigan in the building from OIB Ortho, one of the breakout stars of the league this year. Josh Michigan in the building, trying to scan the crowd and see if there's any other notable names or faces.
Where's Michigan? I don't.
He's over on the bleachers that they brought out.
That's
just
right.
For this game.
A lot of people here. I mean, you have the great Dennis Bergen, who works for the Asbury Park Press. Steve, who runs SSI alongside Eddie there. You have Manley, Scott Stump, the two Shores Conference legends.
And the stars have come out here in the championship game.
No Liam Byrne yet, though. We were having a conversation. I think last night I texted and no one responded, but have you ever seen any? I won't bring that up on air.
I don't even want to know where you were going to go with that. It looks like Loyal's all right. I think he's still getting checked out there. It looks like he's going to try to plug up his nose just to make sure that there's no other bleeding.
Well, the other thing you kind of have to worry about is if you get hit up there or high, hopefully that you're not exerting any concussion symptoms, which I'm sure he's getting checked for right now as well. And now someone's playing the Jeopardy theme.
It's Dave. Yeah, it's Dave on the PA mic.
You know what? I would have, if I was him, I would have played this. I'll go with what I would have played. I think this is more. I think this is a better time filler than. And you could agree with me or not, but I think this is better than what he was playing.
We're gonna get a copyright strike. I would agree with that. Yeah. I love the saxophones when they have the rain delay on Yes Network.
That's my ringtone.
It looks like we're about ready to go though.
Yeah. After about a 2 or so minute delay.
I think it's been longer than that. It looks like Loyal's still getting plugged up.
Parker Dortch was sitting with the fans.
Yeah. A man of the people, Parker Dortch.
He really is.
But again, if Loyal's out for an extended period of time, that's a serious blow to ACI Robin's Nest because, again, the defense he's played on Parker Dortch and his ability to stretch the floor on the wing.
And the thing with Amari Jones is he's played pretty good defense, but he does tend to pick up fouls at a high rate as the first one goes for Myers.
And also Jared Kimbrough on the bench right now as we get a whistle after the first free throw. Kimbrough's on the bench and Mosley on the bench, so the two of them getting a rest.
No Mike Amon yet either, and that was someone that we thought could be a factor tonight. We'll see how he factors into this one.
You wonder if maybe John Kaminsky on the sidelines trying to keep him fresh for the second half because he played really well in the first half last night.
He did. Back-to-back nights for Amon. You know, he's hobbled a little bit out there. He had that epic stretch of play with Colin Cavanaugh. So back we go after the two made free throws. Here's White. Drive, kicks, Micah Kerr. Try these and connects on a three. And it's 30-23.
Yeah, Kerr, like Loyal, another one of those bigger wings who can match up in the front court down low, and another guy who can stretch the floor if you give him catch and shoot opportunities, and they're going to get Dortch on an illegal
foul.
screen.
That's number 2 on Dortch. That's it. And those are the fouls more than anything else you don't want to pick up.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because not only is it a turnover, but you add a foul to your ledger.
As I like to say, the Karl Anthony Towns special. He's done that so many times over the years. Here's Jones. Kicks. Kerr again will try, and this time a little strong. Merlin, the rebound. Here's Larry Smith pushing it in. Kerr almost intercepted it and deflects it out of bounds. They are very aware of what Stearns wants to do pushing the pace. As Merlin has it here. Dortch on Amari Jones, a little bit of a size mismatch, and Jones quickly picks up his first foul. That one won't count. They don't really have a matchup for Parker on the floor right now.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. That's why losing someone like Ibn Loyal is so big because, again, you have to put Micah Kerr on Rasheem Merlin and not really another true big on the floor with Kimbrough taking a seat.
As Merlin airballs a three, Myers the rebound in a crowd. Dortch kicks, Gaffney, here he is, drives inside, kicks to the corner. Myers thought about it, hesitation, and a shot clock violation. And you could see Loyal going through concussion testing, and it looks like he's been cleared.
He's at least going to plead his case to do so. And again, another part of Loyal in his game, he's done a great job of running the floor with Parker Dortch, making sure Stearns doesn't get those free transition opportunities. I've been really impressed with the way he's defended.
Yeah, he's made it difficult as Montgomery knocks down a three and points towards the nest. He might be the emotional leader of the team.
Yeah, whenever he's in the game, you can see the intensity rise up, and he can knock down shots when you leave him open.
He's got a little bit of a Jose Alvarado in him. As Merlin fakes on a three and couldn't knock it down. Long rebound, tracks out to Dortch on the ground for it, and Amari Jones picked up his second foul.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of sealed the foul call there, he kind of wrapped around Dortch, trying to get a handle on the ball. Just a little bit too much contact on the ground. Usually they'd let that play out, but with him wrapping around, that ended up forcing the official to make the call.
So Stearns will have it here inbounding as two guys coming over with mops. 2 mops, 1 wet spot. And you guys just gave me dirty looks for saying that.
What are you talking about?
So 33-23, the score. So now this is what you would be able to play the Yankee rain delay for with the wet spots on the floor. So they inbounded here. Here's Gaffney, comes across the screen. Steps back, drives inside, kicks out Myers. Hesitation on a three, drive, flips one up, and another shot clock violation. That's back-to-back.
Again, they're forcing Stearns to slow it down on offense, and that's twice now that Myers didn't realize the shot clock was winding down and to put it up in a hurry and wasn't able to get it off.
And that's the thing, if ACI forces Stearns to play their game, Stearns is in trouble. As White fires, no, fell to the ground, ball pinballed, last touch by Stearns. That's one of those ball don't lie moments.
I think it's extra impressive that ACI's been playing as well as they have when you have 4 of your starters on the bench right now. It's Jones and the bench guys.
The bench mom, as you might say. Which was originally coined by Monmouth as Jones fires, no on a three. His brother tracks down the rebound. He has it along the baseline, passes. And
the shot clock expired. It probably should have reset, but
it did. It should have. It hit the rim.
Yeah, the buzzer went off and that stopped play.
So some shot clock and issues going on right now. ACI with an inbound. When something like that happens, who does it affect more negatively?
I would say Stearns, just because of their ability to run out and, again, create things off a transition. I think ACI is very comfortable with playing in the half court.
But even like with a shot clock stoppage like that, does it give the team that is inbounding more of an advantage because they can set piece something? As Montgomery, scoop layup is good.
I just think it gives them that kind of new life on a possession, and as you saw there, Montgomery made something happen.
He's got 5 points already. Dortch in on Amari Jones. They're going to try to make Amari pick up as many fouls as possible as Larry gets it. Kicks outside. Myers with it. 10 to shoot. Merlin, no hesitation on a three. No. Myers tracks in for the board and then it's denied by White. Another great defensive possession. Dwayne drives and threw it out of bounds, but it'll stay with ACI. Last touch by Stearns. Here's Jones with it. Dumps corner, Amari Jones for three. No, rebounded by Merlin, excuse me. Here's Myers. Driving in, kicks, and that one intercepted by Montgomery. 2-on-1. Montgomery drives, kicks, floats. God, didn't get it. Rebounded by White. Rebound now tipped out of bounds. White's able to track it. And ACI will reset with 14 to shoot. The shot clock's not going, and now it does. They get some extra possession. Here's a three. Montgomery lined it up, couldn't knock it down. And Dortch the rebound. 23 points for Stearns trailer, where they had 61 at the half last night as Gaffney kicks one up. No, but he was fouled by Jones. What a difference a night makes. Just 23 points, and we're almost halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, ACI has played some tremendous defense in the half court, and they've done a great job of making an emphasis to get back on defense as well to prevent the transition runouts. And that's a big reason why they're in front by double digits right now. It's slowed everything down and kind of muddied up the game.
So Gaffney gets the first, his second one up and good, and he's been their most consistent offensive player tonight by a long mile. Here's Kinsler back in the game. Kicks, Kerr, open look, three, way off, and Amon the rebound, so right into the action. Here's Gaffney. He calls for a screen, gets Eamon to set one for him. Shot falling away, and that one off the mark. Eamon able to get the rebound. So 2 rebounds in a matter of 30 seconds, and he flips up a shot and gets it to go.
Again, Eamon just finds a way to rebound the basketball. It looked like Kinsler had it. He mistimed his jump just a little bit, and that allowed Eamon to get back into the play and haul in the board.
Kinsler's been, he took a hard foul, and that might be number 3 on Dortch.
Yeah, it will be. Again, Kinsler on the drive, he was able to jab step and free up some space because of his ability as a pull-up shooter, and he's able to get in the lane and force the defense to rotate over.
As Kimbrough checks back in, they'll put him in for Kerr. They've been loyal, not on the Robinson. They're missing someone right now. There he is. Here's Gaffney. Mosley, excuse me. Mosley, shot, fires up a wild one, and somehow got that to go. What a shot by Mosley. Now on the other end, Eamon and Kimbrough, 2 of the best bigs in the league. Eamon's jump ball. The shot difficulty on both of those attempts, honestly, incredible.
Kimbrough probably got away with a foul too, and Eamon still found a way to use his post touch to get that one to fall.
As Kimbrough lost it out of bounds, it'll go to Stearns after the timeout on the floor. Media on the floor. Stearns trying to fight back. They're down 37-29. We welcome you back to the 2026 JSBL Championship game here on the JSBL Network. Danny Zersky, Alec Krauthamel. Stearns struggling to score. I mean, they had so much going for them offensively last night. Tonight has been their defense that's kept them in the game, and that's number 3 on Dortch.
Yeah, it's Mosley getting into the positioning down low and took the contact. He definitely sold it a little bit. But if you see Dortch lower that shoulder.
And he was there first.
Yeah, if you go down, you're likely going to get an offensive foul call. And now the script is kind of flipped here. 4 fouls on, it's 4 on ACI, I should say. So they've been very aggressive on defense. Only the first team foul on Stearns. So Dortch is pretty much the only one in foul trouble.
He had 3. I thought they had more in that first half. I thought Myers had more, and now one of the mops is broken.
Uh-oh. I mean, it's the championship. Intensity's at an all-time high. I guess the mop is a victim of it.
You might be right. So it goes back to ACI up by 8. Jones kicks inside Kimbrough. Oh, what a move. Talk about a perfect pass from Jones. It allowed Kimbrough to adjust and put the shot up.
Yeah, really tight window there. He had to find it through, but those 2 guys have been playing together for many, many years, and that's a perfect connection.
Kimbrough 12 points on 5 of 5 shooting now. Here's Merlin inside. He'll win that battle every time. Got the positioning and got the bucket. Mosley kicks to White. White drives, that hitch jumper, no good. Here comes Gaffney after the rebound from Eamon. Both teams have been playing quick. Dortch will try, and off on a 3. Merlin's fouled by Mosley, and he might have gotten poked in the eye. Those 2 were battling for positioning down low.
Yeah, even before the shot even went up, those 2 were trying to tangle each other up and get to that spot on the rebound, and looks like Merlin might have taken the worst of it.
He definitely did. I think It's never fun to get poked in the eye. And Mosley looks to be okay. Merlin looks to be okay. That's outside of getting poked in the nether region, I think that might be the second worst place to draw contact.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. It looks like he'll be all right, though.
So that's number 5th foul. So Merlin's going to feel a little bit better that he gets free throws out of that.
And Stearns will also get free throws the rest of the way.
So you can see Loyal and Myers kind of jawing back and forth with each other. I wonder if that's over the play where Myers elbowed him to the face.
And they're both checking back into the game as well. I'm sure there was some debate about it. Whenever you take a shot to the face like that, you're always going to feel some kind of way, not too happy about it.
Yeah, that's one of the more painful. So we've had some shots to the face already. We're not even in the second half yet. Merlin splits a pair. It's 39-32. Defensive battle in this first. Here's Kimbrough running the floor and picking up the slam. He's 6 of 6.
And again, those long strides kind of lets him get the ball. I mean, he was outside of the paint when he got that, and he made it look easy, just turning around and getting right in there to slam it down.
And you could see everyone cleared the paint as well as Amon falls away, air balls, and that one out of bounds back to ACI Robbins' nest.
That's some smart defense by Kimbrough as well. He kind of gave a little bit of a forearm to prevent kind of a good, clean look, and then he backed off so that the officials couldn't see it.
Yeah, he did as much as he could without picking up the foul. As that one tipped. Here's Kinsler. That pass inside. Kimbrough missed, but he gets the rebound. He'll throw it down again.
He's trying to. He got a Moses Malone. He's trying to add to the stats there on the rebound.
Yeah, I would call that an assist more than a missed shot. As Myers has it here. Myers, that ball deflected in the air. Mason Jones comes away with it. Didn't step on the baseline. Jones looking. He'll try a three as the shot clock expires and misses. ACI looking to grow the lead. They kick. Mosley wide open for three. Knocks it down. Largest lead of the night. Timeout, Stearns trailer.
Again, that's the quick trigger on the opposite end. They get the rebound. ACI, they're not usually a team that's going to run up and down the floor compared to Stearns trailer. Nobody can. But when they do, they strike and they are accurate. They're so good at passing ahead and starting those transition opportunities. Mosley right there for the three, and it all starts once again with Dwayne Jones.
And yeah, and we don't talk about how good they can be in transition too, because all the attention goes to Stearns. But when they need to run the floor in transition, they're as dangerous as any team, especially off a turnover.
And it all starts with passing ahead. Again, when you get a good outlet pass, you can get a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 or even a 2-on-2. You still feel even there when you got them with the momentum going down the floor. And they're so good at spacing it as well. Even in transition, they know where they need to be to clear up space either at the rim or from three, and Mosley found his spot. Jagan Mosley's been a big part of this game. He has been really good on the offensive end finding his looks.
And you got to give him credit defensively as well. He's played really good defense, whether it's on Dortch or Larry Smith or Mason Jones. He's been excellent on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to point out the defensive end as well. Since Ibn Loyal's come back in the game, he's now matched up with Rasheed Merlin with Parker Dortch on the bench in foul trouble. Again, the same thing. He's been getting back as much as Stearns wants to get their bigs down the floor in a hurry to set up those easy post looks. ACI Robbins is just not letting that happen, and a lot of that, again, has started with the play of Ibn Loyal just making his way down the floor quickly and sticking to his opponent.
100%. Now, I know if you're John Kaminsky, that's exactly what he does. He gets Dortch back in the game. You have to trust your guy. You have to let the guys that have brought you here help you, and even though with those 3 fouls, he's better than what they have on the floor.
Absolutely.
On the bench.
I think they just need him on the floor on both ends, and he's got to be really careful and smart. He's a very smart defender. He's got to take that to the max in order to avoid picking up a 4th foul here in the first half.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pull a Marcus Kennedy. I don't think Dortch will quit, though. As he gets inside here, it's blocked by Kimbrough. ACI once again running the floor. They find Loyal. Mosley on the wing. Here's Jones with it now. He kicks to Mosley, and that one a little too strong, and it turned it over.
Yeah, Jones put a little bit too much mustard on that one. It just popped kind of right out of his hands.
He fired that thing in there.
Yeah, I think ACI Robinson is trying to slow it down in the half court a little bit. They didn't have the numbers there. That's another thing that makes their transition attack so dangerous. If they don't have the numbers, they'll retreat and happily play in the half court.
No, that's the thing. They're the best team in the half court in the league. As here's Dorch, he'll try. I think that's a long two, and he knocks it down. It's actually a three, and that's a huge one. They needed that one badly.
Very much so. I mean, again, the three-point ball hasn't really fallen at a high level. Dorch can knock it down if you leave him open. I feel like he's really improved that part of his game, and that was a much-needed bucket.
As Mosley gets the scoop layup on the other end. He's starting to heat up. So we go under 75 seconds here in this first half. Mason Jones gets inside, blocked by Kinsler. Off a block, here's Mosley. Gaffney walled him off. Backing his way into the paint, kicks to the corner. Jones, open look for three. No, rebounded. Jones got it and then fell out of bounds. A serendipitous bounce for the Nest.
I don't know if it was intentional or not, but Ibn Loyal landed kind of right next to him, and that kind of forced him to adjust and kind of fell out of bounds there. I'm not sure if he made contact, if that would have been a foul or what, but
I think the refs might have missed it, but
it's so tough to tell from our angle. It didn't look like there was any contact. It's just kind of his momentum with Loyal.
It might have just been both went up for the same time, and they both just kind of simultaneously bumped into each other, and that's not a foul.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, I'm shocked that Larry Smith isn't getting more runway here for Jones. Looks like the moment's a little bit too big for Mason.
And I think a lot of that is due to the defense that Samir Kinsler has played on him as well in the half court. Jones is a guy who can really score in the isolation if you give him a little bit of room. Kinsler has not given him that, and he has an array of moves that he can knock down the off-balance shots. Kinsler's done a great job of just sticking right up on him.
Here's Kimbrough. After the inbound, it's Kinsler. They actually give ACI a fresh 24. Someone just flash photography. Kinsler, step back three. No. And that one out of bounds. Last touched by Kimbrough. Just battling down low at Myers.
Is that allowed in this gym?
I don't think so. Well, here's Gaffney. Putting the dribble moves on Jones. Shot falling away, and he airballed it. Rebound tip to Kimbrough, and ACI can hold for the final shot. Up by 13. It's a big possession for both teams here.
Absolutely. If you can get a stop and a score here, if you're Stearns, you feel much better. But if ACI, again, if you score here, 15-point lead is a big one.
Here's a kick. Mosley fires up a three. No. Rebounded by Gaffney. He's got to put one up at the buzzer. He does get it off, and it's short. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. ACI Robins Nest in control of this one so far. They lead 48-35.
Yeah, again, it's been the defense of ACI Robins Nest, particularly eliminating the transition game and forcing them to play in the half court has been a huge success so far. And again, Stearns is going to need to open some things up, force some more turnovers, manufacture buckets on the defensive end if they want to cut into this deficit.
Halftime here at Manasquan High School in the JSBL championship game. ACI leading this one 48-35. We'll be right back with the start of the second half after this short break on the JSBL network. Halftime still here upon us on the Jersey Shore, about 59 seconds until start of the second half. Danny Zersky, Alec Crowthamel with you. And I think the biggest thing I want to point out is Stearns Trailer was horrendous from the field in that first half.
Yeah, nothing easy on offense. They shot just 26.8% from the floor, and they weren't able to throw up a lot of threes either, just 1 of 7. And I think the key so far has been the play of Jared Kimbrough down low, kind of mucking up everything.
Yeah, you look at Gaffney coming into this game. Well, those were the stats coming in. Well, tonight, Kimbrough's dominated. 16 points, 9 rebounds, and he's shooting incredibly efficient. He's 7 of 8.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just found his spots down low. He's rebounded the ball on the offensive side at a high level. He has been the all JSBL first team big man that ACI has needed tonight.
And I think I think he came into this one with extra motivation. You guys heard what was said on the stream. I'm sure that those who are listening heard what was said. They kind of treated him like he was a Dane Moran kind of player. No, that's no disrespect to Dane Moran, but he's not Jared Kimbrough.
Yeah, Rasheed Merlin was saying that he didn't think that ACI has anyone that can hang with them. And, I mean, they have the strength advantage, it seems like, but it's been a team-wide defensive effort for ACI Robins Nest. They've doubled at a high level. They've rotated really well, and they have completely taken Stearns Trailer out of their rhythm on offense.
The other thing is only 7 turnovers in that first half, 5 steals and 4 block shots for ACI Robins Nest as well. And that's the other thing that you want to mention. I mean, Kimbrough has a block shot. Jones has a block shot. Kinsler has a block shot. And Amari Jones has a block shot.
Again, team-wide defensive effort. They've
I didn't
rotated.
see him block one, but
yeah, well, they've rotated really well, and they've gone to the ball. They're making it really difficult where one-on-one Stearns may have an advantage, but not as easy when it's 1-on-2.
Here's Larry Smith starting that game in the second half, quickly getting it inside to Merlin. And like we said last night with County Line, you don't want to be down going to the right side of the court because the Nest is not fun to play against. It's like playing against a wall.
Yeah, they call themselves the sixth man. And Dwayne Jones had a funny comment when I interviewed him after the win over County Line. He said that the sixth man, I guess the collective sixth man, said that they don't show as much energy when ACI plays a team that they feel like they should win. So this playoff run, a couple of tough games. We'll see how the energy is in the second half.
It really starts. I think the biggest catalyst of the sixth man, as Merlin gets both free throws to go, has been Tyreek Montgomery. When Tyreek Montgomery checks in, everyone kind of gets on their feet.
Yeah, he's kind of that second coach, kind of player coach. He was in volunteer assistant for Georgian Court at the Division II level this past season, so he has some experience doing so.
And work with some of those guys for OIB Ortho as Loyal fires on a 3. No, they didn't get Merlin for the foul, and Larry Smith running the floor here. Smith will step it out. That's the biggest thing. Larry Smith in over Mason Jones. Smith gets to a spot and lines up a mid-range and knocks it down.
That was good defense from Dwayne Jones, but Larry Smith able to get to that spot and rise up with a lot of confidence.
So the lead back to single digits as Stearns has grabbed the first 4 points of the second half. Jones stripped of the ball by Larry Smith. Here comes Mason Jones. Getting inside, layup is good. Got by everyone in a 6-0 run to start.
Again, this is what Stearns needs to do to have some success putting up points in bunches on offense. Turn defense into offense.
Haven't had many opportunities to run the floor tonight. White kicks, corner, Loyal. And he stripped of the ball. Jones comes over to steal, trying to beat everyone, and he missed. Dortch couldn't get the putback, and then he tipped it out of bounds. That's one for Stearns where, yeah, you have to have that.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity there for Stearns trying to cut into this game. But they've played a lot better defense here in the start of this third quarter. They're making things happen. They've taken the initiative. They're being aggressive with the ball, and you kind of have to at this point in the second half, starting the quarter down by double digits.
That's a lot of it, Larry. For Larry Smith as Kimbrough gets inside. He missed a bunny. Both teams missing from point-blank range. As Larry draws the foul, did they give him the continuation? Well, it doesn't matter, but Kimbrough picks up his third.
And again, Larry Smith, great job of running the floor. Him and Dwayne Jones were teammates in SummerSlam and some of the outdoor summer leagues this year, so they know each other's games very well from playing alongside each other. Now they're up against each other, so should be a really fun third quarter.
Here's Gaffney. Stearns kind of moving at a little bit of a different pace, it feels like. They did the same thing in the third quarter last night as well. Dortch, mid-range, couldn't knock it down. And Kimbrough's got a double-double as he picks up his 10th rebound. Loyal, corner, Kinsler. Here's Kimbrough. Sets a screen, Kinsler gets inside, wild shot up and no good, and the rebound tipped to Mason Jones. Here's Gaffney, lines up a three, hits! 9-0 run to open the corner for Stearns and a timeout for ACI Robins Nest.
Again, turning defense into offense, able to force a tough shot. And again, Larry Smith at the center of it. And Gaffney, you anticipate the drive. If you give him space, he'll pull up from three and he'll knock it down. He has been unconscious shooting the three ball in this playoff run. He's shooting 50% coming into this game. And again, Stearns has come out with that different energy to start the quarter.
Yeah, I mean, out of nowhere, it feels like they just turned on a switch. And if I'm ACI, I think the guy I'd look to get back in here is Jagan Mosley.
Yeah, definitely. Just give him another ball handler, a guy who can win one-on-one. Just get another guy in there who can create his own look and see if you can get this offense back in motion and back in the free-flowing state it was in the first half.
Because it feels like Stearns is finally throwing a punch. It feels like they have not been they were not in control for any of the 20 minutes in that first half.
Yeah, and ACI Robins has controlled all 40 against County Line. So first time in 2 games, it seems like the momentum has really gone the other way against them.
Yeah, it's been the first time they've been tested, and yet even then they're still up by 4. So it'll be ACI to inbound. They have to go the length of the court with 24 seconds to shoot. White's still in there. White in there for his defense. So Loyal will take it up. It's Jones. Dwayne has it, looking for somewhere to go with it. Drives inside on Merlin, kicks out. Kimbrough fakes the three, passes out. Jones from the corner, knocks it down as the shot clock expires. Just something about that side of the court and buzzer beaters.
I don't think Jones realized the shot clock was winding down until the sideline told him to just put it up, and he created enough space. I think Merlin didn't realize either. He was anticipating the drive in.
As Mason Jones' turnaround shot is good. Finally, something going offensively. They were 11 of 41 in that first half.
Yeah, and just 1 of 7 from 3 as well. So if they can knock down some shots from the perimeter, it'll open up the rest of their offense.
But that's the thing. They only took 7 shots. They're a team that likes to put up a lot of threes. Loyal has it here. And he's stripped of the ball by Larry Smith. 1 man to beat down the lane. Smith puts it in. And it's a 3-point game.
He just came out of nowhere, saw Loyal spinning around, and just poked the ball away.
Loyal down the other end, stripped of the ball again. Yeah, that's the right move. You got to get Mosley back in. He'll step in for White. White has struggled a little bit offensively, and they need that other ball handler on the floor right now. Kinsler has it here. Working on Mason Jones, gets by him, drives inside, took everyone on. How did he get that high up?
I really don't know. He went up and under, and again, the ball fake. He hasn't knocked down a 3 yet tonight, but he's done a great job of using that ball fake to create space for driving lanes.
And even then, you have to fear his 3-point shot, and he comes away with a steal here. Kinsler, open look for 3, knocks it down on cue. And a quick 5-0 spurt. So we have a whistle here.
It was only a matter of time until Kinsler knocked one down, and that time they had the 3-on-2 break. And a great job by Kinsler making it look like he was going to try to dish it out, but he just rises up, and when he has that much space, he is a dangerous threat from the outside.
100%. Let's look at, we want to mention that tonight's JSBL Championship game brought to you by Shore Sports Insider. Are you sure? For all your JSBL and all your Shore Conference games, go to shoresportsinsider.com. You can read the great stuff that me, Alec, Dave, Matt Manley, Scott Stump, and others put out there.
I do some work in the shadows.
And we're not sponsored by Poly Market, yet at least. I still can't believe they sponsor the Yankees now. They're everywhere. Here's Mason Jones. Dance moves, trying to get it inside to Merlin, and good ball denial by Kimbrough. And, they're going to say that was last off ACI Robinson, I don't think Kimbrough touched it.
I didn't think so either. It looked like that pass. I don't even know if it touched Merlin. It might have at the last minute, but either way, it's good defense by Kimbrough to force the deflection, the supposed deflection.
9 seconds to shoot here. Jones tries to get it in. They get it into Merlin. He kicks out to Gaffney. Gaffney's got to put one up. Step back three. Oh, yeah. That's great defense by Mosley, by the way, because you could see Gaffney alter his shot, and Mosley got out of the way.
Yeah, he stayed low there, anticipating a potential drive, but he closed out in a hurry. And these are two former guards in the Big East. Yeah, that's a tough league.
If you can play in the Big East, you can play anywhere. As Kinsler tried again, no rebound. Mosley got it in a crowd of two. Kicks up top, Jones, no hesitation on a three, misses. Rebounded by Dortch. Stearns looking to run. Good job getting back by ACI Robinson as Gaffney kicks to Larry Smith. Larry puts one up over Dwayne Jones. Shot no good. Rebounded by Mason, and he puts it up and in. Mason Jones has been effective in the second half.
He has, and that's a great job of just skying up for the rebound, getting over everybody else, and with the wherewithal to put it back up and in over the defense.
Kimbrough comes up to set the screen for Kinsler, who drives in, puts one up, and no, but he was fouled, and he'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, again, Kinsler, his driving, an underrated part of his game. Really good on that first step. He's a great downhill driver on a straight line, and he can finish through contact as well at a high level. Well, that shot had a chance of falling through.
So Smith picks up his first foul, and that's it. That's the thing. If Kinsler gets going, it just adds another dimension to this offense. He only had 4 points in that first half, and he's got more than that now as he hits the first free throw.
I've been really impressed with his defense, though. I think he's defended at a really high level, especially someone like Mason Jones who can hit tough shots.
And yeah, and that's the thing. People don't realize how good defensively Kinsler is. They've all defended at a high level tonight. Here's here's Gaffney. Dortch backs in Loyal, who's played him well all night, and again does it there, and Dortch misses. Mosley running a break for ACI. Drives in, floats one up, couldn't get the roll. Loyal in a crowd, and he was blocked by Gaffney, but they'll get a foul. Quickly going, well, as we have a timeout on the floor, we'll take one with them. 58-50 with 4:42 to play here in the third quarter. JSBL championship game, we're back, and Danny Zerski, Alec Crowell, I want to go through some of Stearns. They need someone to be more efficient. They have not been efficient at all offensively tonight.
Yeah, only 17 of 54, 31.5% from the floor, 2 of 9 from the three-point line. That also means 15 of 45. They're shooting 33% from two. Again, the last couple of games it's been Dortch and Merlin, but those two guys have been battled tough by guys like Ibn Loyal and Jared Kimbrough down low. Dortch just 3 of 14, Merlin 2 of 6. So it's been a really tough matchup in this front court. It's just the amount of wings and forwards ACI Robinson has to offer has really been a big challenge.
As Loyal at the line misses that first free throw, but that's the thing. Stearns has struggled offensively, yet they've basically matched ACI defensively.
Yeah, they've played some good defense too. And the difference in this game right now is at the free throw line.
Exactly.
I mean, ACI Robinson has only 4 of 5, and now 5 of 6, but Stearns is 14 of 15.
Like a San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks type of finals matchup. As Larry has it here, gets in, kicks out. Merlin only taking 6 shots tonight. Gaffney gets around a man, finds himself under the basket, puts everyone in the air, and puts it in. It was a wild possession, yet it resulted in 2 points.
Yeah, the ball fake's so effective. Both the defenders in the area jumped up for it.
Here's Jones. Kick, swing. Kimbrough thought about it, tries a 3. It hits! His first shot of the second goes down, and that one from beyond the arc. As Dortch fouled by Loyal on the other end.
And that time Stearns was really able to get the pass ahead in a hurry and get Dortch the ball without Loyal really hounding him there in the post. That's what Stearns has to get to more of, get their bigs in the post in a hurry so they can establish their position and get some good looks.
100%. As Dortch gets the first free throw. And that's the thing, Stearns is continuing to keep themselves in this game by getting to the free throw line, and if they do ultimately come back to win this game, that's going to be pointed at as the difference. As Dortch misses the second, he splits a pair. Here's Shagan Mosley. Drive, floats midair, miss, rebound. Both ACI guys controlled it, and then Kinsler hits on a 3. There was ACI jarred it. Stearns jarred it free. Two guys went up for the rebound, and then they knocked it loose.
Yeah, and a great kick out by Mosley with just a hand to tap it out.
As Gaffney's shot falling away. Excellent defense by Mosley. Jagan playing Jalen pretty well, and Merlin stepped out of bounds. Stearns had that early run, but ACI's regained control.
It just feels like the defense for ACI Robinson is on a string with the way that all their guys are moving around, rotating at the right time, flashing double teams and then retreating. It's been an excellent defensive performance.
Kinsler comes around a screen. Oh, he tried to throw up a 3 and lost control of it. Here comes Stearns running. Smith feeds, ball loose, and then they stepped out of bounds again.
Yeah, there have been a couple of missed opportunities for Stearns in transition. And again, if you think back just 24 hours ago in that third quarter, Stearns shot a ridiculous percentage. They were 8 of 12 from the floor, from the three-point line in the third quarter, 6 of 9 from inside the arc. It's just been night and day.
As Kinsler missed, was able to get the positioning on Mason Jones. And that's the thing, and you're like, they're struggling from 2. And I feel like their inside game's able to open up their looks from outside the arc, and they've not been able to do it on either end tonight. As Dortch fires up a 3, need it, and they got it. Dortch cuts it to single digits.
Yeah, it's a much-needed 3, and again, Dortch needs to be the catalyst for this offense. He kind of unlocks everything with his forward skill set and his ability to stretch the floor if he can knock down the 3 ball.
Here's Loyal, had an open look from 3, passed up on it, drives inside, and is blocked by Mason Jones. They get it to Kinsler. Shot fake in the corner, Kinsler for 3, hits again! He's on fire! Kinsler had 4 points in that first half. He has 13 in the third quarter. As Loyal picks up the foul.
Yeah, he was wrapping up Merlin early on in that possession. Again, trying to deny the quick entry, but a little bit too much contact there. It kind of wrapped around him with both arms.
I can't get. We mentioned how Kinsler can kind of turn it on at any minute. He's been sensational in this third quarter.
Like I said, it's only a matter of time until he gets going. And again, he's found himself open in the corner a few times as well. He's got great positioning.
And that time he had to do the shot fake and he got his man in the air and did it. Here's Larry Smith, gets around a screen, kicks to the corner. Mason Jones, they need another one, and that one too long. Kimbrough the rebound. Here's Dwayne Jones, gets to his left hand. You can't let him do that, but he missed at point-blank range. Now Gaffney the other way. Gaffney lays it up and in with the left. But Jones all the way down the floor. Here's Kinsler, tries and again from 3, and knocks another one down. Unconscious.
You can tell when he put that shot up, he is feeling it from the floor and from 3. Again, you can't give him that much space in transition, the quick strike ability.
16 points in the third quarter for Kinsler as Gaffney misses on the other end. Under 90 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Here's Kinsler, gets inside, finds Kimbrough! Oh my! Timeout, Stearns trailer. What a play!
And how about the awareness by Kinsler? He's the hot hand. He's feeling it. He could have tried to go up through the contact, but he's got eyes in the back of his head on that play. He sees Kimbrough streaking down low toward the basket with nobody on him and just leaves it for him in perfect positioning. This is Samir Kinsler's third quarter. I think he put it himself best last night. He said, we are pros and we do what professionals do. They are doing that right now, up by 15.
And really, that whole play is created by Kinsler's shot-making ability. He scored 16 points. You're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, hey, I'm going to take this. Never mind, here's Kimbrough running down the end and he'll flush it.
And again, one of the most ferocious dunkers in the league. That one looked easy. What a performance this has been by ACI Robins Nest. I said it in the pregame, it was going to have to be a full team effort no matter who comes away with this game. And whoever is on the floor right now for ACI in their five, they're making things happen.
And John Kaminsky could be coaching his last half of basketball for Stern Strela because we know how Pastor is. That's another storyline to throw as we continue to go on. But yeah, I mean, just incredible just the fact that they did it last year. It felt like they were like just people felt like they were going into this game lucky to be here. No one felt that way about them going into the game tonight. They were the favorites.
Absolutely not. They have come into this game. They have taken control. This is a really well-connected group. They've done a great job.
As Larry Smith stepped out of bounds. Starting to snowball a little bit for Stearns.
Yeah, that's the tough defense. The double team came over. He had to retreat and retreated just a little bit too far backwards.
So Loyal to inbound, and Stearns has to be careful here. You gotta weather the storm here in this final minute and 4 seconds. Here's a kick. Loyal tries a three. Too strong. Rebounded by Gaffney. There's the start. Then a long pass to Merlin, who has it under the basket and lays it in. So Merlin cuts it to 13. Here's Mosley. Mosley fires for three. That one too strong, and Merlin the rebound. Stearns hoping for a mini run. Here's Mason Jones. Gets in, lost it. Merlin picks it up and puts it in. 4 quick points for Merlin.
Yeah, again, I said this last night, except it was going the opposite direction. There's a big difference between what's an 11-point lead and an 18, 19-point league. ACI feels like they need a bucket here on this possession to kind of keep up with that arm's length of lead that they have.
Shot clock turned off. 73-62, final 10 seconds of this third quarter. Jones, they send a man at him. They get it inside, he throws it away. Here's Mason Jones at the buzzer, tries to get it off, he does, and puts it in! A 6-0 run to close the third quarter for Stearns Trailer. They weather the storm, and we go to the final quarter of JSBL basketball in 2026. We'll be back after this short break on the JSBL Network. final 10 minutes of the JSBL season, maybe overtime, we don't know. But ACI Robins Nest and Stearns Trailer, a rematch of last year's championship, and this one has not disappointed Alec Krauthamel.
Absolutely not. It looked like the momentum was all the way of ACI Robins Nest as they deflect the inbound. Stearns does, I should say. But I said off air, I feel like Stearns has one more counterpunch left in them. They're kind of in the midst of it right now. The key is now, how does ACI respond to it and see if they can try to close it out, or does Stearns continue that counterpunch and take the lead back?
They're playing full court defense here, and there were pockets of time and an 8-second violation. Or did they get a timeout?
Yeah, they got a timeout just in time. Although they got to realize now, I don't know if they're going to give him the ball across half court.
I don't know if they do get a timeout because there's 15 seconds on the shot clock.
It seemed like they might have gotten it just in time, but they have to realize on this inbound, they got to get the ball inbounds immediately.
This is a big debate. I don't think they got that timeout in time, and they might not be granted it.
I didn't think so either.
So all the referees come together at midcourt.
They did not.
Yeah.
That's great defense once again by Larry Smith, wreaking havoc in the backcourt.
And he's no Kinsler on the floor here. Montgomery and White out there, so no Kinsler, no Mosley.
And it looks like Mike Amon is done for Stearns Trailer.
Yeah, I don't see him. Oh yeah, you're right, he is. Here's Larry Smith. Gets it to Dortch, spins, Dortch, traveled.
Again, how about Loyal on the defensive end? Even when Dortch gets ahead of steam, Loyal is right there with him, and he's able to force him to drag that pivot foot a little bit, not allowing him to get to that comfortable spot on the hook.
Yeah, and I thought for a second they weren't going to call that. But they do, so ACI with a chance to grow their lead. Now, Mosley has been so effective. They've bullied White a little bit tonight, so interested to see how White factors into it. Here's Jones. Kicks, White, spins, drives, puts one up, and the foul! White has one more coming at the line.
How about White taking on Larry Smith? Not an easy guy on defense to go right after. He just puts him in the spin cycle and rises right up. That is a great job by Jared White of taking on the tough assignment on offense and with the ability to spin around and draw on the contact.
So White has one more, and you're right. I mean, he fires and that's it. And they're going to play full court now, too. And they're starting to awaken the sixth man as that one blocked by Kimbrough, his second rejection of the night. Jones kicks, corner Montgomery, drives along the baseline, off the glass and in. And that 5-0 run's pushed it back to 14. And you could hear this gym starting to get a little bit louder. Here's Gaffney. High pick and roll with Merlin. Gets inside. Shot is good. That was not easy, and he made it look it.
Yeah, just the body control in midair to go underneath on the reverse. It was good defense by White, but again, Gaffney had to step the entire way.
Kimbrough kicks. Jones, extra pass, corner. White, three, up, and no good. But Montgomery, the rebound, put back, and he's fouled. Tyreek Montgomery hasn't played much tonight, but he's made a big impact.
Yeah, he's the energy guy, and nobody picked him up after the long rebound. Merlin was wondering where his matchup was. He was all alone after that ball bounced over Merlin's head. That's a great job by Montgomery getting right there and picking up 2 free throws to try to grow this lead.
So he's got 2 coming at the free throw line. His first is good. And if you just go by just a strict minutes perfect tonight, Montgomery coming into this quarter had only played 6:42. He's got averaging more than a point a minute tonight as he misses the second free throw. 9 points in a little under 9 minutes or so. As Gaffney, he's hounding Gaffney here. Merlin corner, need it, got it for 3. And it's a 10-point lead.
Again, Merlin's three-point ball hasn't been where it usually is. He's done more in the post, but he's left wide open there on the kick out. That is a much-needed basket to keep this at 10 and manageable.
They desperately need him to take over as White blocked by Merlin. And it was last touched by ACI Robins Nest.
Yeah, I think White a little bit too ambitious there, trying to drive on Merlin, try to step around him, but Merlin just too big down there. He's able to just get, wall him up and send that shot away.
Merlin's been their best player tonight. How do they use him down the stretch? Is that one no good? And an over the back foul on Merlin. That's number 4 on him. Actually, number 2. So it'll be Montgomery to inbound with 7:45 to play, and ACI leading by 10. Stearns trying to get their 4th championship in 5 years. ACI trying to go back-to-back. Jones gets inside and one. Scoop layup is good, and he's got one more coming.
Again, Jones using that extra step to get around Merlin, beat him to the spot, got a little bit of a bump. And again, when Dwayne Jones gets that left hand, there's not much you can do on defense.
He might be the best left-handed layup I've ever seen. Just the way he can get inside and scoop the layup, it's just so impressive as he misses the free throw. Here's Larry Smith, gets it inside, and a turnover. Back to ACI, up 12. And then the 6th man letting Merlin hear it. Here's Loyal back in the game. Jones got 2 guys in on that screen, and pretty impressive there as Merlin deflected it. They'll keep it with 10 to shoot. Jones. When is he deciding it's time to take over kicks? Loyal traveled. Both of these guys, both teams' feet moving a little bit too fast on them tonight.
Yeah, I think Loyal was in between deciding whether to shoot it or drive it, and that kind of dragged the pivot foot as he was deciding to drive it with the shot clock winding down.
Under 7 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Stearns needs a run in a hurry. Gaffney gets to his spot, kicks to the corner. Dortch backing his way in, finds Merlin, and that one's blocked by Loyal, but they're going to get a foul. I don't know about that one.
It's a tough one because Loyal has the size disadvantage in terms of height on Merlin. He has to jump higher to try to block that shot. He got all ball on the block attempt, but then the follow-through kind of came down on Merlin.
He did get that's the thing. You first see him get all ball, and you're like, oh, he got it, and then that little bit of contact at the end is what gets Merlin to the line there. White's going to check out. Mosley's going to check in. That's the thing about ACI is that they're so deep where it's like you're completely comfortable with having Montgomery in, and Kinsler's the hottest player on the floor, was the hottest player on the floor in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the depth available to you, having guys that you can put in the game just with the ability to come into the game and play. It's another thing with ACI, what they have guys that they trust to play in their system and make things happen off the bench when they need to make a sub.
And that's what you need. Championship teams, the best championship teams are the ones that have depth that you can put in any spot and mix and match, and they've been able to do that tonight. Loyal gets inside, and he's fouled. That's number 4 on Merlin. He hadn't had a foul in the entire first 3 quarters. He's got 4 in the 4th.
And now ACI Robinsons is in the bonus for the rest of the way for the final 6.5 minutes. That could loom large as this game continues to go along. Stearns had the free throw advantage in the opening 3 quarters, but it could start to even out here with only 1 foul on ACI in the quarter.
And that's the thing. You're down 11 right now, and that's the last place you want to be, is in the penalty. When you're trying to come back, the only thing that kind of helps Stearns is that the clock is stopped right now as Loyal hits the first free throw.
And I do wonder how the free throw line is going to impact the rest of this game. ACI's had some troubles in the past with their free throw efficiency. They came into this quarter 5 of 6 from the line. Are they going to be able to knock them down when it matters, or are they going to even grow their lead to where it maybe won't matter?
Well, that's the thing. We'll see. But I still think in terms of who's got the easier free throw to shoot, actually, it's a little bit tougher than you think because the bleachers kicked out kind of hurts as a vantage point, but at the end of the day, I'd rather be shooting the free throw even with the obstructed view. Mason Jones gets inside, and he's denied by Montgomery. He's got 5 on him. He had it here. They kicked to the corner for Larry Smith, and they couldn't get it to go. Jones running the floor. Montgomery puts it up and missed at point-blank range. But a wonderful job by Dwayne Jones. And is Montgomery okay?
He took a hard slide there. I believe he hit one of the folding chairs. It looks like he's all right, thankfully. Yeah.
At the back of his head. Hopefully he's okay, and I think he's instantly going to go check out.
He's going to get a lot of applause from his own side, though, for his efforts here in this opening stretch of the fourth quarter. Well deserved.
So look at Kinsler back in, which is the last thing I'm sure Stearns Trailer wanted to see. Here's Kimbrough, open look for 3, knocks it down. He's 2 for 2 tonight from beyond the arc.
That's a breakdown by Stearns Trailer. They left him open off a screen. It wasn't even that hard of a screen, but they just lost Kimbrough, and they left him wide open in the corner.
Biggest lead of the night for ACI Robins Nest is 16. Here's a kick. Jones drives along the baseline, lost the ball, gets it back with 7 to shoot. Jones drives back to the basket, falling away, shot no good, and Kimbrough gets the rebound. Danger zone for Stearns Trailer. As Kimbrough has it here. Finds Dwayne Jones. Comes across the screen. Kicks. Kimbrough tries another 3. Why not? This one off. And it'll go the other way. You still think Stearns has a run in them?
I think so. I think they got one more. We'll see if it'll be enough.
As Gaffney launches, and maybe that's the start. Big 3 for Gaffney.
Yeah, Mosley stepped back a little bit, anticipating a drive, but Gaffney, great deceleration to get his feet set and loft a pull-up 3.
They need him to catch fire again, and there's a turnover. Larry Smith down the lane with 2 men to beat, and he's blocked by Dwayne Jones. And we've hit the final media timeout of the season. 4:48 to play, 13-point lead, ACI Robins Nest in front. Final 4:48 of this game. Danny Zerski, Alec Krauthamel, and Stearns Trailer's got to put a run together, and a lot of it's got to come from their big 3, Dortch, Gaffney, and Merlin.
Yeah, we saw it there with the pull-up 3 on that first one. I think they still have another run left in them. We'll see how they can do it. I mean, they're down 13. They got a lot of work to do, and it looks like this. I thought it was going to be ACI ball. Or no, never mind. It was Stearns ball going into the timeout. I stand corrected.
Here's Merlin, has it all just inside the 3-point line. He steps back, fires one up, and knocks it down. And they cut it to 10.
They're going to need Merlin to come alive, especially from 3-point land. And again, they're starting to knock down their 3s here. Can they cut into this deficit and make things difficult for ACI?
Mosley running a 2-man game, and he gets it to go. It looked like he was going to try for an alley-oop, but it went in regardless. 88 to 76. Dortch walled off by Loyal. That's just superb defense. Now Gaffney comes across the screen. Now Loyal extends out to him. Gaffney drives inside, has it under the basket. They get it to Mason Jones. Jones kicks, Dortch 3, need it. No good, rebounded by Jagan Mosley. And that defensive possession by Loyal was insane.
Again, he's been the X factor tonight. It was difficult to switch out onto Jalen Gaffney, but he stuck with him the whole way.
Now Kinsler working his way in. And did he travel? He did.
Yeah, he went for the jump stop and dragged that pivot foot a little bit too much. Mason Jones there with the heavy defensive pressure. He was trying to drive in, and he got a little bit too ahead of himself trying to set up a kick out.
Just superb defense. I mean, Stearns Trailer scored 120 points last night. They've got 76 with 3:40 to go. Here's Gaffney. They're going to try this high screen and roll. Gaffney fires, pick and pop, no good. Rebounded by Kinsler. And time starting to tick more and more. The saxophone is getting louder for Stearns Trailer. As Kimbrough has it here, 10 to shoot. Drives inside. Oh, put Larry in a spin cycle. Shot falling away. Missed it. Gaffney kicks. Merlin inside. Didn't get it to go. Gets his rebound. That one saved. What call do we have? What a save by Merlin there.
I didn't think he was going to save that ball in time, but he was able to fall away and throw it off the legs of Ibn Loyal. That was a high degree of difficulty.
That was one of those plays where it's very sloppy on both ends, and there's wet spots aplenty to clean up.
I still find it really hilarious. The mop lasted, one of the mops lasted the entire season until tonight.
I mean, look at Tyreek Montgomery.
He's working with half a mop here.
Talk about do it all tonight. Tyreek Montgomery's done it all, literally. Now, if Dave Smith, our PA guy, was creative, he would be playing the song Mop. Don't stop. Left hand first, put your right hand on top. Mop, mop, mop. As we have 2:57 to play. Stearns basketball. Long outlet pass, and they turned it over. They threw it, and that's kind of been the theme for Stearns tonight, just unforced errors.
Yeah, they had to go with a long inbounds pass over to Dortch, and Dortch wasn't able to time up his jump in time. That's a great job by Loyal once again of walling off and forces that ball into the backcourt.
A lot of credit to this ACI defense that's completely taken this game over. Kinsler with 15 to shoot. Gets a screen from Kimbrough. Kinsler kicks to the corner for Dwayne Jones. And it was tipped out of bounds by Stearns. Are they going to give... What's going on here?
Merlin was trying to manifest a turnover. It didn't work.
No. But they reset the shot clock, I guess.
Yeah, because I think Merlin actually fooled the scorers table to reset the shot clock. It didn't fool the officials, though.
That's the people that you needed to fool.
Yeah. I will say, this has been a really well-called game in the championship.
Yeah. There's a theme to that. I won't get into it, but...
A really difficult one to call as well with two teams playing
so
physical.
Mosley fires up a three. Banks open. And the lead's up to 15. That might be the dagger. Mason Jones kicks. Merlin the two-handed flush. As ACI's lead down to 13. But I don't think Stearns has that run in them. Mosley getting hounded by Gaffney. Two former Big Ten players, as you mentioned prior. Jones with 4 to shoot. Jones fires one up, kicks to the corner. Kimbrough at the shot clock expires. No, but a rebound, 1, and a foul. Ibn Loyal has been maybe the most impactful player tonight for ACI Robbins, and he did it again there.
And you saw the rebound, but you may not have seen the seal-off that allowed Dwayne Jones to get into the paint and kick out for an opportunity for the three. And for whatever reason, oh no, it's free throws. That's why they're heading back to the backcourt. But again, Loyal has been the X factor tonight in this game. He sealed off, made the drive easier for Jones, and then he skied up and got the rebound. I'll tell you what, Ibn Loyal may not lead the team in scoring tonight, but he has been one of the biggest catalysts, especially after taking that shot to the face. He had to leave because his face was bleeding. He's come back and reigned supreme and reigned terror once again for ACI.
And he's done it all. He's done it all over the floor, offensively, defensively. Feels like it's a reality now that ACI Robin's Nest is going to pick up back-to-back titles. And
I don't know. Still plenty of basketball left. I can't rule it out yet. I've seen crazier things.
I mean, well, luckily for ACI Robin's Nest, John Shire isn't coaching for them. That's the biggest thing, I'd say. It's become an annual tradition watching Duke absolutely choke in the playoffs, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I can't say there's any love lost in that regard.
And the funny thing about that is I feel like it gets worse than the next every year. Like it's like they find a way to rip out your heart in a more hurtful fashion each time. As they'll get Montgomery in here to play some defense. Loyal hits both free throws and the lead's 15. Under 2 minutes to play.
One thing I've noticed, Savon Myers hasn't played a minute in the second half. I really think Stearns could have used him. I guess the question is who would he come out for, but Myers is a guy with a really solid skill set that I think could have made an impact in this game. He just has not seen the floor.
I think the big thing why, and if you look at it, 3 turnovers in that first half. He was struggling, and they needed the offense. They were down big, and they had to have Smith and Jones on the floor at the same time. Well, here's the biggest question. Who do you think is going to be coaching Stearns next year?
It's a good question. Maybe it's John Kaminsky. I mean, they made the championship again. We'll have to wait and see. That's a story for another year.
Stearns is the same team that fired their coach after going undefeated in 10-0. As both go for Gaffney. Do you start playing a foul game here because you're so strapped for time?
May not be a bad idea.
As Loyal finishes. As we approach 90 seconds to play. 95-80 the score. Smith, desperation heave for 3 off. Tyreek Montgomery the rebound. Mason Jones tried to swipe at him. Montgomery gets inside, couldn't get it to go, but Kimbrough right there, and the star of tonight's game putting a finishing touch on it.
Yeah, they've needed Kimbrough to be that first-team big man. Again, he got off to a couple of slow starts in the first 2 playoff games, but from the opening tip, he was locked in and showed why he's very well deserving of that first-team honor.
I'm sure he's going to come up here with some stuff to say as well. As we approach the final minute, 97-80, and ACI Robin's Nest about to put forth one of the most dominant playoff runs in league history. And the thing I want to point out, the team that gave them the closest run was WCT.
Yeah.
As they turned it over here.
I'll tell you what, that was a whale of a first-round game.
As Gaffney drew the foul on the three-point attempt, so he'll shoot 3. That's... Isn't it funny sometimes? It's like certain teams you go and see these runs, like the Eagles a couple years ago. The team that gave them the most trouble ended up being the Rams.
Yeah. Or when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady in the pandemic year, the Washington football team gave them the most trouble.
Oh. Well, that was a fun era of NFL football. The Washington football team.
Yeah.
There's stuff I'm sure that we could say about the team names of them and the team that plays in Cleveland, but it's probably best served for another conversation at Little Dom's. One more for Gaffney. He shoots 2 of 3 at the line. ACI up 15. Not as dramatic as their championship win last year, but a little more dominant. Loyal tries for 3. No. Rebound's going to come out to Dwayne Jones, and he'll lay it up and in. Merlin slams it down. I mean, I don't know why ACI is calling for a delay of game.
I think they were calling for a technical for hanging on the rim, but it's not going to matter.
It doesn't matter. ACI Robin's Nest protects the nest and defends their title. They win this one in the JSBL championship 99-84 and are back-to-back champions.
And again, this is a team, they set out to defend their title. They told us from the beginning that was their goal. And they had some ups and downs. They weren't perfect, But in the end, all they needed was this last game, and it was their defense. Their defense really set the tone in this game. They eliminated the transition game for Stearns Trailer. Not much else you can say other than what a run for ACI Robins Nest. 2 straight titles in their first in franchise history.
And it's so impressive. We'll be back with the championship trophy, but I think the star of tonight's game, and I think all things considered, Jared Kimbrough had a lot of things said about him last night. And he said, you want to talk about me? Then go back it up. And Kimbrough was a dominant player in tonight's game.
He backed it up and then some. He protected the rim at a high level. He scored at a high level. He knocked down some threes. Again, very well deserving of 2 consecutive all JSBL honors.
As they're in the party, the Protect the Nest shirts are out. And once again, ACI Robins Nest, their second championship in 5 years. As we enter our post-game coverage here in the JSBL Championship, and Jared Kimbrough, the MVP of the JSBL Championship game, completing, again, a dominant 2-year stretch for him, but first team all JSBL this year, MVP of the championship game. He's put himself in the conversation as one of the best all-time bigs in this league.
I mean, it's been, again, like you mentioned, a dominant 2-year run. What a job they have done. Again, it seemed like last year they were the upstart team, made it to the championship game and won on that miracle shot by Dwayne Jones, but Dwayne had it cooking from the jump, and he didn't need the heroics this time around. This was a full team effort. The connection on this team, even with 2 head coaches, they even were without a head coach for a game. I mean, this was a full connected team effort. This is what the JSBL is all about. Get those guys that you have a long-time relationship with, you've been playing with for many years, since childhood, and they have put it together for 2 consecutive years. And again, they have the 2-man game in Kimbrough and Jones, but you look at a guy like Ibn Loyal, Samir Kinsler, Jared White, a newcomer this year, Jagan Mosley. They went legitimately 9 deep in the rotation, and all of those guys played big minutes and contributed on this playoff run, and especially in tonight's championship.
And I think the thing was, they were, and you mentioned, they were the upstart team last year. The way they played last night against a team that hadn't lost all year in County Line, I think cemented that they were the favorites coming into tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, Stearns is obviously the team with a lot of championship DNA with all of their victories, but well-deserved championship. And they were favored, like you mentioned, coming into this game, just because of the way that they won this game last year, the way that they've shown the ability to take control in these games throughout the season. As we get the championship trophy celebration.
And also, you got to give a lot of credit to Luke DeVito, who comes in. Wait, is it Luke? Was it Luke?
Luke is the player for Larson Ford.
Who's the coach?
Steve.
Steve DeVito. You got to give them a lot of credit. Steve DeVito comes in mid-season and's done something that certain coaches in this league haven't done in their entire careers. Shout out Sean Gallagher, but unbelievable that Steve DeVito comes in mid-season, and I think he's going to be maybe the next hot coaching prospect in the JSBL.
I mean, he was dealt into a bit of a tough situation, taking over the team middle of the season, but he provided a lot of the energy as well. That's one of the big parts of coaching. You got to match your guys' energy and provide it. He certainly did that. There were some, learning curves along the way, but again, he was able to lead this team to victory. And in his sort, this team can also lead itself, and that's what makes this team so different from everyone else. They can lead themselves at such a high level. Dwayne Jones is pretty much the leader of the team in terms of making everything happen on both ends of the floor. You mentioned earlier a guy like Montgomery, the emotional leader of the team, sets the tone whenever he's in the game. And there's just so many big figures on this team that have contributed to this championship run.
I know you want to say something, as David Smith, who's shooting baskets, just missed badly. But we'll take a quick timeout here on the JSBL Network. We'll be back with some interviews and some post-game coverage as ACI Robins Nest wins their second straight title. Here with tonight's playoff MVP champion, two-time champion Jared Kimbrough. Jared, just talk to me about the rematch, the nerves coming into tonight, and the domination that you guys put forth.
I think we all came in knowing what we had to do. We just came out there. We just had to perform, whether it was us playing well on defense or us playing well on offense. We just had to do what we planned on doing in the group chat that we said. But it feels great, though, you know.
A little bit different this time. You guys dominated defensively in this game. Talk about the rotations, especially a guy like Ibn Loyal, who isn't going to probably get as much love in the stat sheet tonight, but defensively, talk about the job Ibn did tonight.
Man, if there was a person to give a defensive player of the year, it should have been him. He guards 1 through 5. He came out here and he showed it there on the tough opponent. He played his heart out, and that's honestly that helped us defensively get going. So shout out to him because he really showed up on defense for us.
I gotta ask you. I know you heard. I'm assuming you heard the comments.
Yes.
Is there a response that you would like to put forth? And how much extra motivation did those comments that were made about you last night bring forth for you tonight?
Man, I see stuff like that. I just laugh at it, man. To be honest, because I know him personally. I know he's the most unserious person I ever met. As you can see, we was up there laughing the whole entire time. But you know, I don't really. I saw it. I heard it. I was like, all right, whatever. I let the 2 championships speak for itself.
You guys have won back-to-back now. You guys are such a deep team, and it seems like you guys are really connected. Can you talk about the job that Steve DeVito does coming in mid-season and helping you guys after you guys have now had 3 coaches in 2 years and you're 2-time champs?
That Steve is his name? I forgot. I forgot his name. He didn't really – I wouldn't say he didn't do much, but he really was like more of a player-coach type of person. So whatever he felt that he just let us do whatever. Not really do whatever, but like he let us figure it out rather than him coming in and telling us what to do. But he did a great job stepping in. And he came from the jump. He said, hey, I'm ring chasing. So he came in with the mentality that, yo, we're going to get it done. We're going to win. And I like that mentality. It kind of gave us a boost.
Last question for me. You're one of the all-time – I think personally you're one of the all-time great bigs in this league.
I appreciate it.
You're back-to-back champions. You've played such an integral part. Back-to-back years of you being on the first team all JSBL. You were the Defensive Player of the Year last year. How much does your time here mean to you? And what does it mean to be put into – you're playing against Mike Amon tonight. What does it mean to be starting to put yourself into a class like a guy like Mike Amon?
I mean, look, I playing in this league, it helps a lot because it gives me a chance to work on my game. I go to the gym a lot. I work on my game a lot. So the fact that I could come out here and do what I work on and see it succeed, it helps me to go overseas and do the same thing. So, you know, Mike is a good player. I love going against Mike. Hopefully Mike is in that Robin's Nest uniform next year. But it's great going against different guys, different type of attributes and stuff like that. So it's good to play in this league just to get a different feel for all the guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jared. Congratulations. You're a 2-time champion and now a playoff MVP.
Appreciate it. What was the stats? I didn't even see the stats.
Take a look.
28 and 14. Okay, I like that.
Best player on the floor tonight, Jared Kimbrough. Jared, thank you for spending some time up here with us. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You as well. Danny Zersky, Alec Kraut, I'm with you at the call of tonight's game. Back with you just to wrap up the season, and we'll start with tonight. And the job that Jared Kimbrough set the tone, and then really the big difference in that third quarter, Samir Kinsler goes off for 16 points.
Yeah, exactly. And we said at halftime, it felt like it was only a matter of time until he got going. He got some shots at the rim, and then his threes really started to fall at a high level, and that ended up being the difference. He was confident, he was decisive, and that run really put him ahead and put him in control.
And then Kimbrough, he said it on the stream. He said he laughed when he saw what they said about him last night. He definitely came into this one with a little bit extra motivation. He made a promise to Robin, who's their sponsor, and he delivered again on the promise.
Yeah, exactly. He said they were going for the back-to-back, and they did just that. And again, Kimbrough dealt with some slow starts in these games in the postseason, but from the start of this one, he was locked in. He played great defense. He attacked the rim at a high level, and he was really the catalyst for the full 40 minutes in this game.
And I think he's established himself as one of the. They're going to do an all-60 team. They did an all-55 JSBL team. When that all-60 team comes out, Jared Kimbrough's name's going to be on that list. He's established himself as one of the league's great all-time big men.
Yeah, he's led ACI Robin's Nest again. Back-to-back titles, it's first in franchise history, and he has been at the center of them. So, yeah, I mean, no arguments from me there. At least in my 3 years, he has certainly been one of the top players in the league.
It's funny. The more things change in the JSBL, the more they stay the same. Stearns beating Seaview again. ACI Robin's Nest then getting County Line, and then those two teams matching up again. But this time it was done differently for ACI Robin's Nest. They completely dominated this one from start to finish and really completed a dominating playoff run in that.
Yeah, they had to outlast WCT. It was a tough battle, but they got the best of it. And then against County Line, in the end, they just completely took over that game, went on that game-breaking run. And then in this one again, it felt like, just like yesterday, Stearns obviously brought it in close, but it did not feel like ACI was ever in trouble in this game.
So now we look towards next year. You don't know where people or places are going to be. There was a lot of movement on the players' front, but I think the one thing that has been cemented next year is that if you want to win this league, ACI Robin's Nest is the team you got to knock out.
Yeah.
And Stearns Trailer is going to probably be the other team in the way.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how County Line comes back. Again, they suffered their first loss against ACI yesterday in franchise history. I think this year really showed that this league has a ton of depth, and you know, even if there's not the same NBA high-level Division I talent, although there was some of that this year certainly, the league is still in a great spot because of how many connected and cohesive teams there are. And I thought when I talked to Josh Michigan a couple of weeks ago after OIB Ortho won their first game of the season, I thought he put it well. There's ballers at every level, and this year the league really proved that.
Yep, that's it for us. We'll see you next summer. JSBL season comes to an end with ACI Robin's Nest winning their second straight title. We hope you enjoyed tonight's production of the game. For Nick Dahl, our producer, and our executive producer, Eddie Capalco, Danny Zersky, Alec Kraut, saying goodnight from Manasquan High School.